God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Still be a caring person. I mean, it's just like, how can you, where do you get that kind of Novocaine from? I mean, how can you still be a human being and watch that every day?
Well, the nurses have all the keys to the drug cabinets.
Yeah, I mean, that's an answer, but it's not a really good answer.
Well, I think the ultimate conclusion is going to be either something like a development in virtual reality, but also possibly, like, I don't really quite understand what virtual reality is and what that looks like. Uh, um, Practically, I understand the conceptual nature of it, but what also the other two possibilities I see might be more like a Borg-like structure where the computer intelligence becomes greater than the human intelligence, and it kind of just uploads our brains and we kind of join the Borg. Alternatively, we have a genetic breakthrough in development to manipulate our genes so that we are a better animal, a better species. Our DNA is improved. I don't know which path is most likely, but it seems like those are the only ways to go.
It's even a realistic notion. I mean, I don't think you can really combine brains and then you're going to get like some kind of super intelligence out of it. Intelligence is just the process of discovery. It's like a telescope. It's like dissecting. It's a mechanical process acquiring knowledge. And so it's not ours is not a capacity problem. It's a do the experiment problem. So we have to do more thought experiments to derive the truth. But like I said, we're getting closer to it all the time, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, it's like right there in front of me right now. It's pretty simple. 10-minute video. All you need to know, I mean, it's just not that complicated. We're addiction machines, desire machines. We're addicted. I mean, it's all just so fucking simple. So I mean, what we want is entertainment. We want the sensual experience. We want the emotional experience. We don't want the intellectual experience. I mean, intelligence is irrelevant to our sentient self, in a way. I mean, obviously we need some in this culture, in this context, but it's not what we're after. We're not after a great thought. We're after a great experience.
That's right, but if we manipulated the genes, couldn't we change what the cheese is and give people really great feelings when they learn something, or, rather than what they get?
But what are we going to learn? Is my point, though. Is it's the learning curve is getting narrower and narrower. So what are you going to make people have an orgasm when they E equals MC squared? Oh, 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 oh. And, I mean, then what? And then what? They got to take a nap, and then wake up from the nap, and then they'll do like, E equals MC squared, times 2, and then they'll take a longer nap, and come back and multiply it by 4. I mean, there's nowhere for intelligence to go. I mean, intelligence is cooked, it's fried. I mean, you can paint forever. I mean, you could do paintings forever because, like, there's an infinite possibilities. But intelligence has a narrow possibilities. Once you've revealed the important truths, why would you waste your time on the unimportant? Intelligence doesn't want to do that. Intelligence doesn't want to know the irrelevant. Intelligence doesn't say, let's go on a grand quest to discover the irrelevant. I mean, why the fuck would it do that? Let's boldly go where no one's gone before. Irrelevancy. I mean, is that like Star Trek 10? The undiscovered irrelevancy? The black hole of irrelevancy?
Well, it seems like we're caught in a trap here, though. A logical trap of feeling like it's important to end suffering, yet nothing else is important. So once you do that, then what? And it's kind of like, well, there's no point beyond that. So it's in a choice between existence and non-existence. You might as well go with non-existence, because even if you had this intelligence that changed the game so there was no more consumption, and there was just feelings where everybody was subjectively thought they were having a good time, having orgasms as they read books and figure out new math formula. I don't know. I guess that's a choice. I don't know what to base that choice on. I mean, once you eliminate suffering, what is the definition of productivity, or what is the definition of importance if there was no suffering?
Well, that's exactly my point. I mean, there is no other role besides janitor, and once we've cleaned up the mess, we're done. Okay, the janitor cleans up himself. So we take the mop and basically just mop ourselves out of the picture too. So it's like a racer, it's like a racer, man. We just erase everything and then we erase ourselves, and that's the end of the cartoon. So I'm the one who said it's a zero-sum game, but I'm only arguing for the virtual reality if we're going to insist on being here. Okay, so if some part of humanity is going to insist on perpetuating it because they don't know that there's some mystery yet to be discovered, then I'm saying, well, then do it in virtual reality, do it in a better environment than this one, do it in a fail-safe place than this place where you're likely to blow each other up and all this other crap that is the liability of the intelligence here. But yeah, the bottom line is if I had the power, yeah, to, poof Earth, I'd poof it.
This is just off the top of my head, but if the janitor cleans everything up and there's nothing else to do besides, sit back and have a smoke or relax or jerk off or whatever, given that the universe exists, it might be worthwhile for humans to stick around, because if we just ended our existence and the universe kept going, other beings could come into existence and have to go through all this stuff again. Whereas if we became more developed and more intelligent, we might be able to do something good down the line.
Yeah, well, like I said, I can't argue against that possibility. I'm saying it's probably pretty unlikely that we could ever communicate with any other life form that might exist in the galaxy because of the physics. I mean, the physics just make it kind of impossible. So I don't think that we can ever do anything useful. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to find, like, oh yeah, we'll go into the universe and we'll find the shut-off switch and we'll turn the whole universe off. Like we can unplug the whole universe. We'll find the electrical cord and pull out the whole universe, electrical cord, and shut the whole thing down. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So, but I can't argue that it wouldn't be a good idea maybe to have some human presence persistent in the universe. But the liability of that is we're too dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's another galaxy coming toward our galaxy that in about 5 billion years, if I'm not mistaken, is going to collide with ours. So there's, I think, some potential. I mean, I'm not saying it's probable, but I think there's some potential for some interesting stuff to happen with other life forms. That's not a theory. I mean, I'm just saying that's just an example. Like, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but with this artificial intelligence, I mean, computers, I think a brain is just a biological computer, really. It can be figured out. It can be dissected. And I think that once we get it to be on par with humans, there's going to be some new types of experiences that might be worthwhile.
Oh, I just don't buy that argument. I mean, it's all about rubbing a nerve. It's all about a pleasure and a pleasant and unpleasant sensation syndrome, attraction, repulsion. It's like magnetism. That's it. It's a simple force. And the only thing motivating the sentient thing, it's a motivation mechanism. That's the only reason why it exists, is because it motivated organisms to wiggle through the environment and eat the shit they were supposed to eat. So I don't see how I mean, intelligence would have no use for playing this game. It's just going to be an equation for intelligence. Well, how much pain, how much pleasure, and we put it on the scale and it measures it out and it says, well, is this worth what we paid for it? And intelligence is going to figure out that, oh, you mean the pleasure is all built out of addiction and desire? It really doesn't have a real substance to it. It's just chase. It's just an illusion, like heroin has value, but no, it only has value if you're addicted. Yeah, so if there's no addiction, there's no value. Okay, well, intelligence figured out the game. It's saying it's stupid, and that's the end. I don't know how intelligence is going to... Like I said, we already have the ability to give ourselves orgasms